Let's go back in time to 7 months ago when things were simpler and we all thought 2020 would be our year. Skylar and I were headed to New York City for a few days to visit my friend Ben. Ben and I had been internet buddies for about 10 years, and this would be the first time we would meet. And this would also be Skylar's first time in New York City, ever. Freeze! I was trying to film Ben, but 5 seconds earlier I dropped my suitcase on the escalator and almost killed a man, so I gave up. Unfreeze! Skylar and I were starved, so Ben brought us to a pizza place, since eating a cheesy slice of New York-style pizza has been Skylar's dream ever since TMNT.
I'm grabbing a slice right away. I'm being a heathen. Oh, shit. Okay. Sold.
After checking into our hostel, Ben and I watched Skylar eat chicken necks in Chinatown. He had to work the next day, so we parted ways, but not before taking a quick photo of us doing Asian peace signs. Next day we would be on our own. The first place we went to was a diner. I had always wanted to go to one, simply to feel like a detective in a noir film, solving a murder with my partner. We had 2 dead dames and no leads. The killer was slick, I'll give him that. Suva was calm and collected. I, however, couldn't be. The hash-slinging slasher was out there, and he'd strike again. So we are at, what is it, Court Street Diner? Skylar? Oh, he's nodding his head yes.
It looks like they baked this bread themselves too.
Ooh, that's easy to cut into.
I know, it was tender. Like I said, they probably baked the bread here.
Tender ass toast.
By the look of it, I mean, it looks like they baked stuff too.
The two of us braved the subway systems for the first time, and turns out it wasn't horrifying. We were headed to Central Park to get some scenic photographs. While there, we stopped at Central Park Zoo, saw some cute animals, and even saw a seal dab. Most importantly, I saw some potential crime scene locations for Law & Order SVU. Discovering new things in Central Park was fun, but I was on a mission, and that was to see a very important film location, the Dakota, aka Rosemary's apartment and Rosemary's Baby. The fun really started when we arrived at the Color Factory in Manhattan. It was like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but for your eyes and your mouth. There were interactives everywhere, and most importantly, a snack in every room. One room led to your secret color. It kind of felt like I was taking a 17 magazine quiz, trying to figure out what handbag matched my personality. My secret color was red, and then the room took my photo, which I hated. The best part of this entire experience was the room that had the giant ball pit. It was like being in a Chuck E. Cheese that didn't smell like feet. It was purely magical. All that snacking in the Color Factory made us want real food. We went to Chinatown and ate some dinner, and then had taiyaki ice cream, something I had been coveting for ages. What do you think?
for you?
Okay, so it is Monday night. I'm taking off my makeup. It's only like 8:30, 9 p.m., but we've been in our hostel since like 7 because we're so tired. I haven't really tried to film much because I don't know, I don't want to look like a complete tourist, but it's the last day I will have hair this long. In fact, I will have hair that's probably like here, and I'm so nervous because I have not when I do it like that, it looks like it's gonna be awful. But goodbye hair, it's gonna be so completely short. I'm holding my phone up with my feet because that's how I'm oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna like it, but oh no. Oh no. My hair will literally probably be about as long as my bangs are. Yeah, dude. Hold on. I don't think I'm gonna like this, guys, but here, I'm gonna do it. Ooh, no. I had some time to kill the morning of my haircut and decided to do a little bit of exploring. The first location was Obscura Antiques and Oddities. It was such an eerie little shop and I fell in love. Unfortunately, a few months later, they had to permanently close. They do still travel around the country, so if they're near you, check them out. The second place was a vintage store. I bought a denim jacket you might recognize from my previous videos. I didn't get any footage before or after my haircut, but afterwards we went to a punk bar called Clockwork Bar. It teleported me back to the punk rock days of the 70s and made me wonder if this is what CBGB's was like back in the day. I'm in the bathroom. Okay, bye. Skylar wanted to see the firehouse from Ghostbusters, and as you know, I'm all about film locations. It was pretty cool to see it in person, and the hot firemen working inside were an added bonus. The two of us then walked to Battery Park so Skylar could see the Statue of Liberty with his own eyes. Since it was our last night in New York City, we met Ben one last time. We ate ramen at Ippudo and then had dessert at Spot Dessert Bar. They were seriously the most beautiful desserts I have ever seen.
A little bit. Oh no, stay in.
Oh, how is it?
Try?
This way. Oh my god. It's beautiful. Our final stop with Ben was to Toy Tokyo so Skylar could geek out at all the cool anime things his heart desired. Then we sadly said goodbye and headed back to our hostel so we could pack and get ready for Boston the next day. It is our last night in New York. We're doing laundry now, which is why I look like I'm a bag lady, because we bought some things that we're trying to fit into our luggage. But we said farewell to Ben. I miss him already. He's the coolest. He's the best. I'm really sad that I didn't get to film his reaction from when we first met but that's because I dropped my luggage down I dropped my luggage down the escalator because I can't multitask. Apparently, tomorrow morning we're gonna catch our Amtrak to go to Boston, which is about a 4-hour train ride upstate. And then we're gonna meet Michaela and Sky, so that'll be interesting. Yeah. It is like 5 in the morning. I've been up since 4. I've only had like 4 hours of sleep. I don't know why my body doesn't allow me to sleep in to my alarm when I'm traveling, but it doesn't. And I'm really tired. But we leave this morning. Our train doesn't leave for another 3.5 hours. And it only takes like 30 minutes to get there. Hooray. We were off on another adventure, and even though we were both exhausted, we looked forward to the adventures the rest of the trip would bless us with.